Okay, let's jump right into this explainer. Today, we're tackling something literally every single one of us has faced at some point, the, well, darker side of human interaction. We're going to explore how to take incredibly painful social experiences, betrayal, disappointment, anger, and actually forge them into a profound sense of inner peace. And look, this isn't about just toxic positivity or pretending the bad stuff didn't happen. It's about completely reframing how we process that pain so we actually come out stronger on the other side.
So think about it. How do you actually react when someone breaks your trust? Life pretty much guarantees that not everyone who enters our journey is going to stick around with honesty and sincerity, right? We've all had those moments. Moments where our kindness is just taken for granted, where someone flakes on a big commitment, or where people just walk away. It hurts. It really hurts. But questioning our default reaction to that pain, really digging into why we react the way we do, that is the absolute first step toward true personal growth.
Which brings us to Section 1, the reality of betrayal, and seeing the truth in deception.
When someone deceives you, say a really close friend bails when you needed them most, or maybe a coworker takes credit for your hard work, it is so easy to fall into the trap of wanting revenge or just holding tightly onto that resentment. But honestly, you shouldn't waste your peace on that. Why? Because their actions reflect their character, not your worth. I'll say that again. It reflects their character, not your worth. Their dishonesty is a loud statement about who they are. It actually serves a pretty important purpose, because it clearly reveals who genuinely values us and who doesn't.
And when you look at the aftermath, the person who actively chooses dishonesty loses something way, way bigger than whatever short-term gain they were chasing. They lose trust. They lose respect. They sacrifice meaningful relationships. And ultimately, they completely lose their own inner peace. But you, the person who got betrayed, you actually gain something incredibly valuable. You gain wisdom. You build immense strength. And you develop a much deeper sense of compassion. It's a total paradigm shift when you realize, wait a second, I'm the one walking away with a real prize here.
Let's see how this builds into our relationships in Section 2, redefining genuine love and escaping the transactional trap.
You know what's really fascinating? It's how easily we fall into these traps without even realizing it. The source material warns us heavily about making love a transaction. We so often expect this constant appreciation from our partners or friends, or we basically demand recognition for what we do for them. We expect rewards. We effectively make our care for them a demand. It's kind of like keeping a mental scorecard. But the moment love becomes a demand to get something in return, it completely loses its purity. It stops being love and, well, starts being a business deal. Genuine love, on the other hand, is the exact opposite. It's the absolute willingness to share your kindness, your care, your understanding, and your support, totally free of any expectation of a return on investment. Real love begins when the pure act of giving brings you joy, even if, and this is key, even if recognition never comes. Just think about that for a second. If you can find joy in the giving itself, without sitting around waiting for a thank you text or a favor in return, you've unlocked something incredibly powerful, something no one can ever take away from you.
But what happens when things go south and our expectations are met, despite our best efforts? That brings us to Section 3, overcoming the roots of anger and diagnosing our reactions.
So, anger is deeply rooted in misunderstanding. We get mad when we expect others to behave exactly according to our desires. I mean, we've all felt that urge to fire off a totally angry text when someone acts out of line with what we wanted. Or we get angry when we make rapid assumptions or simply fail to see a situation clearly. The cure here is a deliberate shift in mindset. We cure that desire for control by broadening our perspective. We cure those snap assumptions by applying wisdom, actually pausing before we react. And we cure misunderstanding by actively cultivating understanding and just trying to put ourselves in their shoes.
The source material lays out this beautiful, logical sequence to cure anger. It's literally a cascade of peace. Step 1, the very moment wisdom replaces your assumptions, the anger actually begins to fade. And that leads directly to Step 2, this brand new understanding steps in to create patience within you. And finally, Step 3, that patience ultimately creates peace. It's just a chain reaction. If you can trigger that first step by simply pausing and replacing your assumptions with wisdom, the peace is just going to naturally follow.
Synthesizing all of this brings us to our final and honestly most important concept, Section 4, protecting your true character, the ultimate victory. The greatest victory in life isn't proving others wrong. It really, really isn't. The ultimate victory is defending your core self. You have to actively decide, I will not let betrayal make me bitter. I won't let my capacity for love make me dependent on others for validation. And I definitely won't let anger make me lose myself. Look, the world is absolutely going to throw chaos at you, but you have to fight to keep your heart kind, to keep your mind calm, and most importantly, to keep your self-respect completely intact, regardless of what anyone else does.
And why this matters is beautifully simple. When you manage to keep your self-respect intact, this amazing natural sorting process occurs. It's honestly like a superpower. The people who genuinely value honesty, love, and understanding, they will naturally be drawn to you and become a lasting part of your life. On the flip side, the folks who don't align with those values, the dishonest ones, the users, the energy vampires, they'll eventually just walk away because they don't fit into the ecosystem you've built. Your character basically acts as a highly effective, built-in filter for the people in your life. Listen to this profound closing thought from the source material. Never let someone else's betrayal change your character. Love without selfishness, forgive without weakness, and respond with wisdom rather than anger. A peaceful heart and strong character are life's greatest achievements. Everything we've talked about today really boils down to recognizing that your inner peace and your strong character aren't just, nice personality traits. They are literally your life's absolute greatest achievements.
So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a question to mull over. When you walk away today and inevitably face the sting of a broken promise or a disappointment out in the real world, what are you going to do? Will you let someone else's bad behavior redefine who you are and surrender your character to bitterness? Or will you choose the wisdom of peace and fiercely protect the character you've built? The choice is entirely yours.